You're watching Friday Night Blitz on News Watch 12.
We're still here because football is still here, and we don't plan to go anywhere except in tonight's case. Lakeview, Merrill, and who knows where the playoffs will take us next week. Thanks for joining us on the Friday Night Blitz once again. I'm Cameron Derby.
And I'm Josh Shelton. We will go to the ends of the earth to cover high school football, and tonight we have some great opportunities for some of our local teams to take on the best teams in the state. Henley, only one loss in the regular season, got to take on the #1 seed tonight. Powerhouse Pirates hosting the Henley Hornets in Coos Bay. To start things off in the second half, little pitch to Nolan Northcutt, and he's going to throw it. Check for a hole in your pocket because he just dropped a dime. Wet weather is not keeping these teams from throwing it either. Pierce Davidson catches it over the middle and picks up a good chunk of yards for Marshfield. Dom Montiel passing again, this time to DJ Doherty, and he takes it to the pylon. Marshfield continues to dominate teams in 4A, 42-7, the final.
Cascade Christian taking on the 1 seed Siuslaw tonight. The Challengers stood toe-to-toe with them last time. Challengers opened up the scoring with a field goal, but Siuslaw answered quickly. And from midfield, Cascade had a hard time stopping the run. This one busts off around the outside and down the sideline, 50 yards, touchdown for Siuslaw. They get the 2-point conversion as well, so it makes the lead 8-3.
Second quarter now, same score. Keith Reed hands it off, and the Challengers fight and then punch it in for their first touchdown of the game. That puts Cascade back in front 10-8, but like Cam said, the Siuslaw run game, potent. Anytime Cascade scored, Siuslaw chunked off rushing yards. This one goes across the pylon. They go up 14-10 at halftime.
Third quarter, Siuslaw up 22-10. Keith Reed doing it on his own here, barreling into the end zone. If Cascade was ever able to stop that run, this win may have actually been possible, but Siuslaw ends the Challengers' year 28-23, the final. Now, this is a team, Josh, Cascade Christian, that ended on a sour note here, but I think it ought to be commended. This is a team that stood face-to-face with the #1 seed twice and lost by a combined 9 points.
Not to mention, it's a team that got dramatically better as the year went on, and it's a young team that has a lot of potential next season as well.
Lakeview looking for the first semifinal appearance in more than a decade, taking on the Bandon Tigers. Still scoreless in the second quarter. Honkers looking to get up on the board. Benny Alves hands off to who else? Gavin Patterson running in with authority. He knows how important this game was tonight. Honkers up 6-0. But on the ensuing kickoff, adversity strikes. Reef Berry hugging the sideline like a tight rope, and he is gone. Just like that, the Honkers are trailing. Tigers would go on to score again before the end of the half. Lakeview down 14-6.
But honk, honk, here come the Honkers. Patterson to Morgan Ludwig, shakes off the tackler, he's off to the races. Touchdown, Lakeview, and a 2-point conversion fails, so the Honkers down by 2. Next possession, Lakeview driving again. Alves rolling to his right, finds a leaping Max Graham, and a nice snag for Lakeview. The next play, it's, of course, Gavin Patterson. That man knows how to run the football with power, and all of a sudden, Honkers are up 20-14.
But here we go again. Tigers answering right back. Barry throws a little teardrop and somehow finds Cooper Lang for the score. The Tigers would then go on to get a pick 6 to take the lead with just a minute left. Honkers with one last chance to make it to the semis. Alves dropping back, huck it deep, and his man falls under the rainbow. Honkers Max Graham, the late game hero for Lakeview. The crowd going absolutely nuts, and the Honkers are going to the semifinals for the first time since 2008. An absolute thriller in Lakeview. Final score 27-26. Here's Coach Moss after the game.
Extremely. From the first week of the season against the Modoc team, we were down 20-6. So the resilience that we showed was outstanding. Very proud of these young men.
Honkers still a wagon. Now we have one other local team playing some ball tonight, out between Merrill and Malin on the Oregon-California border. You were there.
Yeah, 8-man football at Lost River High School, and the fans were pretty pumped for this one. To Chinfield, the home of the Lost River Raiders, who played host to the Waldport Fighting Irish. Raiders don't waste any time getting on the board. Nathan Dalton runs it in from 20 yards out to get it started. 2-point conversion good. 8-0 Lost River.
Waldport on the goal line. Option run left side. Levi Fructi carries it across the goal line, so we stay in the first. 8-6 Raiders hand off to Dalton, and he breaks free, running down the sideline before finally he gets dragged down. That drive would end in another Raider touchdown. 16-6, Lost River leads.
Jolly Roger flying for the Raiders. Lost River threatening to score again and again. It's Dalton up the middle. No one can catch him, and this time Lost River jumps out to a 24-6 lead in the first half. 11 seconds left in the first. Raiders down near their own 35. Dump pass to Dalton, and Nathan Dalton does the rest. 65 yards, dodging tacklers along the way before breaking through the secondary, and that gives Lost River a 40-18 lead at halftime. Second half, Raider ball. Guess who? Yep, Nathan Dalton up the gut through traffic all the way to the house for his 6th touchdown of the night. With it, a trip to the semifinals. The Raiders 63, the Irish 32.
Blitz on Newswatch 12.
We're back into the Newswatch 12 Sports Studio for more of the Friday Night Blitz in the 4A Conference. The Mazama Vikings get to play tomorrow. After all, this football going on today, I'm sure they're excited to play tomorrow.
Yeah, this is a Mazama team that became a much different team after the first couple of games. The turning point, a big win over Crater. I talked to Vic Lease that day before that Crater game, and he told me they were still just adjusting to losing so many pieces from that state championship team last year. Well, I guess he was right. Since then, Mazama has been a well-oiled machine, going 7-1 ever since. There were a couple close games in there, but since a 1-point win over Eagle Point, Mazama has outscored its opponents 290-41. That includes a 42-0 win over North Eugene in the opening round of the playoffs.
This time, Mazama will get the number 4 seed in Banks. Mazama may have been hosting a playoff game if it wasn't for a 31-28 loss to Cascade all the way back in week 4. But Mazama certainly looks the part late in the year. And Cam, this is a team that has taken a lot of slack even for last year's state title. You have to think that the Vikings, they want this one pretty bad.
Yeah, absolutely. They faced plenty of denial from folks over if this was a real state championship, because there wasn't a bracket format in the playoffs during that spring season that was so altered by COVID. And I promise, repeating so that talk will stop is something that the Vikings would absolutely love to do. A Saturday game for the Vikings. It won't be at the normal 7 o'clock start time. Banks and Mazama will kick off at 1 o'clock tomorrow at Beaverton High School. With Henley now out, Mazama is the only Basin team remaining in the playoffs. With a win, Mazama would advance to the semifinal to play Marshfield.
Back to Friday Night Blitz on Newswatch 12.
Welcome back into the Blitz. Next week is the last week. I can't believe this year went by so fast, but here we are, the last time for the Blitz that we get to call up the best plays.
Yeah, and this vote is it. This is for the whole sack of marbles. The 2021 Play of the Year competition down to the final 3. So here we go, the best 3 plays as you voted at home. The first nominee of the final round is Andrew Walker from South Medford High School. This broken screen was somehow turned into 6 points. That 6 points bubbled over to a South Medford win over North Medford in the Black and Blue Bowl. Well, I will tell you, speed. You can make Andrew Walker the Play of the Year winner with a vote this week.
Play of the Year nominee number 2, Gavin White, the old school slip screen for the Ashland Grizzlies. White never backs down, and he breaks tackles all the way into the end zone. This play happened all the way back in week 1. This just goes to show that great plays, they're just memorable. Even down the stretch, Gavin White can score a big win for the Grizzlies.
And last but certainly not least, Play of the Year nominee number 3, Scott Price. We're running out of Price's Right puns to make, so we won't make another one for right now.
Are you saying we can't go over by 1?
Well, we just did. The Scott Price tip drill for Crater High School can bring Dutch Meyer a Play of the Year. Get to voting as soon as the show is over at ktrv.com/contests.
We switch gears now. We'll stay on the football topic, but the real football, as many would say around the globe, football.
There it is. We have an incredible accomplishment currently happening for Hidden Valley. Both the girls and boys will be playing for state titles tomorrow. Cameron got to talk with both coaches.
9 seed all the way up through the tournament. You guys are doing it March Madness style. Are you guys riding the wave of that Cinderella story feeling?
Yeah, it's definitely momentum that we've been building through the last half of our season and just trying to carry it and put everything together and keep playing good soccer and cleaning up our play.
The Hidden Valley boys take on Philemouth tomorrow at 4 p.m. The match will be at Liberty High School and will be the first of 2 matches in the day. Hidden Valley has made it all the way to the title match as the 9 seed. Quite an accomplishment there.
And the girls, on the other hand, they've been working magic all season long. The girls squad came into the tournament as the 2 seed. They come from a really tough Skyline Conference, and they tell me that actually has given them plenty of practice for these tough playoff matches.
Our Skyline Conference really represents pretty well having 4 teams in the round of 16, and that's not the first year that that's happened. So we've said at times that every game's a playoff game, and they like to take your opponent, if anything, they don't have to play for, they do have to play to knock you down, because that could make their season, if they're not having a good season, if they can just take Hidden Valley out. So we try to keep that idea going early on throughout the season, and then therefore carry it in now. The competition keeps getting harder and harder, so we're up for the challenge, but we know we're in for it against Woodburn. That's a good squad. And
the girls will take over the field at 7 o'clock in the same venue, so the possibility is Hidden Valley winning 2 state championships on the same field on the same night. Girls kick off at 7 against Woodburn. Good luck to both squads for Hidden Valley. For Blitz tonight, that's a wrap.
That is a wrap. Speaking of which, round ball wrap's not too far
That's
away.
coming soon.
But we got one more Friday Night Blitz before then.